The first time Daniel
Everything
heard
is
her
just
say it,
perfect tonight.
he wasn't even
I'm
meant
so
to.
happy right now.
No one wants to date me.
Me too.
Her voice wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't meant for sympathy. It was quiet. Matter-of-fact. The kind of sentence someone says when they've already accepted it as truth. Daniel froze in the cereal aisle. He hadn't meant to eavesdrop. He was just trying to convince his 5-year-old daughter, Lily, that marshmallow cereal was not, in fact, a balanced dinner. But the sentence cut through the soft hum of the grocery store like glass breaking. No one wants to date me. He glanced down the aisle. She stood near the coffee display, phone pressed to her ear. She wasn't glamorous in an obvious way. No designer purse. No dramatic makeup. Just simple jeans, a loose sweater, and hair pulled into a low ponytail that had started slipping loose. But her eyes. Even from that distance, he could see them. Tired. Not physically. Emotionally. "I know, Mom," she said softly into the phone. "I'm almost 32. I get it." Daniel felt something twist in his chest. 32. He was 34. Too young to feel this old. Too old to feel this invisible. "I've tried the apps," she continued. "They either want someone younger, or someone without complications." She forced a small laugh. Daniel looked at Lily, who was now dramatically lying across the cart like a fallen princess. Complications. He understood that word. He had a 5-year-old daughter, overdue bills, a dented Toyota, and evenings that ended with laundry instead of wine. He wasn't exactly prime dating market material either. The woman paused. Then she said it again. Quieter. "No one wants to date me." And this time, Daniel couldn't pretend he didn't hear it. Her name was Amelia. He learned that 10 minutes later when Lily, in her natural chaotic innocence, ran straight into her. Literally. Lily had launched herself from the cart in protest over vegetables and collided into Amelia's legs. "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry," Amelia exclaimed, instantly kneeling. Daniel rushed forward. "Lily, we do not tackle strangers in public." Lily looked up at Amelia with wide eyes. "You smell nice." Daniel wanted the floor to swallow him whole. But Amelia laughed. Not politely. Not awkwardly. Genuinely. "Well, thank you," she said warmly. "That's the nicest thing anyone said to me today." Daniel blinked. Something about that sentence. It carried weight. "I'm really sorry," he said, rubbing the back of his neck. "She's 5. And dramatic." "I am not dramatic," Lily protested. "I am expressive." Amelia's eyes sparkled. Daniel felt it. That tiny shift in atmosphere. The kind that happens when two strangers unexpectedly find themselves sharing a moment neither expected. "It's okay," Amelia said. "I needed the collision." He smiled faintly. "Rough day." She hesitated, then gave a half shrug. "Rough few years." And there it was again. That quiet honesty. Daniel recognized it because he carried it too. They saw each other again the following Saturday. Same grocery store. Same aisle. This time, Amelia smiled first. "No tackling today," she teased. "Strictly supervised," Daniel replied. Lily waved enthusiastically. "Hi, coffee lady." Amelia laughed again. Daniel realized something. He had noticed her before that phone call. But now he saw her. Really saw her. The way she lingered over book covers. The way she read ingredients carefully like someone who had learned to be cautious. The way she didn't rush through life like most people in that store. "Coffee lady?" she asked. "She categorizes people by where she meets them," Daniel explained. "You're forever coffee lady." "I'll take it," Amelia said softly. There was a small pause. The kind where two adults decide whether to keep talking or politely drift away. Daniel surprised himself. "Would you maybe like to grab coffee sometime? Officially?" He almost cringed at how awkward he sounded. He hadn't asked someone out in 3 years. Not since Lily's mother left. Amelia blinked. For a split second, hope flashed across her face. Then it faded. "You don't have to say that," she said gently. "I'm not saying it to be nice." She studied him carefully. "I'm not exactly what people are looking for," she said quietly. There it was again. That invisible weight she carried. Daniel tilted his head slightly. "What are people looking for?" She gave a small laugh. "Younger. More exciting. Less baggage." Daniel glanced down at Lily, who was currently trying to climb the cart again. "Define baggage," he said. Amelia's expression softened. "You don't want to date me," she said quietly. "Trust me." Daniel didn't flinch. "I think I do." She didn't say yes that day. But she didn't say no either. And sometimes, that's where love begins. Daniel learned her story slowly. Not in one dramatic confession, but in pieces. Amelia had been engaged once. 6 years ago. The wedding venue booked. The dress bought. The invitation sent. Then 2 months before the wedding, he left. Not for someone else. Not for a dramatic reason. He just wasn't sure anymore. And she became the woman who was almost married. The one people pitied. The one people whispered about. The one who must have done something wrong. After that, dates became interviews. Men who asked too many questions. Men who disappeared after learning her age. Men who said she was great, but not what they were looking for. Eventually, she started believing it. "No one wants to date me." Daniel listened quietly one evening as they sat on a park bench while Lily played nearby. He didn't interrupt. Didn't offer empty reassurances. He just listened. And when she finished, he said something simple. "I want to." Amelia looked at him like he had just spoken a foreign language. "You don't even know me." "I know enough." She shook her head. "You deserve someone easier." Daniel almost laughed. "Amelia, I'm a single dad who eats dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets twice a week and falls asleep at 9:30. She smiled despite herself. "I'm not looking for easy," he said quietly. "I'm looking for real." That hit her. He saw it. Felt it. The moment her carefully built walls cracked just slightly. Their first official date wasn't glamorous. It was coffee. At 3:30 in the afternoon. Because Daniel had to pick Lily up by 5. Amelia showed up nervous. Daniel showed up terrified. But something unexpected happened. It wasn't forced. It wasn't performative. There were no games. No pretending. No trying to impress. They talked about failure. About loneliness. About rebuilding. About how hard it is to believe you're still worth choosing after being left. And when Amelia said, "I feel like I missed my window," Daniel leaned forward and said firmly, "You're not a clearance item." She laughed so suddenly she almost spilled her drink. And in that moment, something shifted. For the first time in years, she didn't feel unwanted. But the real test came 2 weeks later. When Lily got sick. High fever. Emergency clinic. Daniel had to cancel dinner with Amelia last minute. He expected disappointment. Frustration. Distance. Instead, Amelia showed up at the clinic with juice boxes and coloring books. "You didn't have to," Daniel said softly. "I wanted to," she replied. She sat beside Lily for hours. Held her hand. Told silly stories. Daniel watched quietly. And he saw something beautiful. Amelia wasn't someone no one wanted. She was someone no one had chosen properly. And he made a decision that night. He would. The first time Amelia met Daniel's friends, it didn't go smoothly. One of them said casually, "So you don't mind dating a guy with a kid?" Daniel saw the flicker in her eyes. That old insecurity. That old fear of not being enough. Before she could answer, He did. I'm the one who's lucky, she said yes. The table went quiet. Amelia looked at him. Really looked at him. And something inside her shifted permanently. 3 months in, she said it again. But differently. They were sitting on Daniel's couch after Lily fell asleep. I used to say no one wants to date me, she whispered. Daniel brushed a loose strand of hair from her face. I know. She swallowed. I was wrong. And for the first time, she believed it. The past doesn't knock politely. It shows up unannounced. And sometimes, it smiles like it never broke you. Amelia hadn't heard from Ryan in 6 years. 6 years of silence. 6 years of rebuilding. 6 years of learning how to breathe without wondering why she wasn't enough. And yet when his name lit up her phone screen, her hand still trembled. Ryan. The man who once promised forever. The man who walked away 2 months before their wedding because he wasn't sure. The man who left her holding invitations that would never be sent. She stared at the screen while Daniel's laughter echoed softly from the kitchen as he helped Lily with homework. Her present was warm. Safe. Real. Her past was sudden. Unfinished. The phone kept ringing. She didn't answer. But the voicemail came seconds later. Hey. Amelia. I know this is out of nowhere. I'm in town. I'd really like to see you. There's things I should have said. Things I should have said. 6 years too late. She didn't tell Daniel that night. Not because she wanted to hide it, but because she didn't yet know what it meant. She told herself she was just curious. Just closure. Just proof that she wasn't crazy for being hurt. But curiosity is dangerous when it's wrapped in old love. The next afternoon, she agreed to meet Ryan for coffee. The same cafe where Daniel had once told her, "You're not a clearance item." It felt cruelly poetic. Ryan looked older. Thinner. Less certain. Time had not been as gentle with him. When he stood to hug her, she hesitated. 6 years ago, that hug would have been home. Now it felt like a museum exhibit. Familiar, but no longer alive. You look good, he said, studying her face like he was trying to find the version he left behind. I'm okay, she replied carefully. They Saturday. There were no dramatic tears. No shouting. Just heavy silence. I made a mistake, he finally said. Of course you did, she thought. But she didn't say it. I was scared, he continued. Marriage felt permanent. And I wasn't ready. But I've done a lot of thinking. A lot of growing. I've dated, and none of it felt right. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. She watched his face as he spoke. 6 years ago, those words would have shattered her. Now, they felt smaller. Like a script rehearsed too many times. I heard you're seeing someone, Ryan added carefully. She froze. Small town, he shrugged. Her stomach tightened. Yes, she said softly. A single dad, right? There it was. That subtle judgment. Not loud. Not obvious. But there. You always wanted more, he continued. Travel. Freedom. Big things. You sure you want to step into someone else's life like that? And suddenly she felt it. That old doubt. That whisper. Is this enough? Is he enough? Am I settling? Ryan leaned forward. I'm ready now, he said quietly. For real this time. And for just a moment, a terrifying, fragile moment, the girl who once believed no one wanted her stirred. He came back. He chose me now. Does that mean I finally matter? But then another voice answered. The woman she had become. If he had to leave to realize your value, he still didn't see it. She left the cafe confused. Not convinced. Just shaken. Daniel noticed. Of course he did. He noticed the way she stared at nothing during dinner. The way her laughter was half a second delayed. The way she avoided his eyes when he asked, You okay? I'm fine, she said automatically. But Daniel had lived through abandonment too. He recognized distance. 3 days later, she finally told him. They were sitting on the couch after Lily fell asleep. Ryan called, she said quietly. Daniel didn't react immediately. He just nodded once. Okay. He wanted to meet. Did you? She hesitated. Yes. The word hung between them. Daniel inhaled slowly. And? He says he made a mistake. Silence. The kind that presses against your ribs. He says he's ready now. Daniel's jaw tightened almost invisibly. And are you? He asked gently. That was the question that mattered. Not whether Ryan was ready. Whether she was. Tears filled her eyes unexpectedly.